next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. That's 800-890-5075. Paid for by Term Direct.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, 6-minute delay coming in southbound 65 from 29th to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 stop and go from Harding to Meridian, Illinois. East 75th Street still closed from Graham to Benford Boulevard for Nickel Plate Trail construction. That's happening until May the 7th. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms possible this afternoon, some of which could be on the stronger side. Breezy with winds gusting from 20 to 30 miles per hour, highs in the lower 70s. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
And Hammer, some firings within the Trump administration. Several, as a matter of fact. Let's start with the most high profile. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz out. Was a longtime congressman. He's a former Army Special Forces, lots of Bronze Stars, very highly decorated veteran and congressman, but he was brought on to be the National Security Advisor, and he this is all part of the app, right?
Signal.
This is all part of the Signal app debacle in which a bunch of cabinet members were communicating through this app, and a journalist, left wing from, was it The Atlantic?
Yes.
Accidentally got put on this chat about bombing some terrorists, and the next thing you know, it's all out there in the news for everybody to see. Somebody had to go down, and I liked this guy, Mike Waltz, but somebody had to take the fall.
It wasn't going to be Hegseth. Hegseth was not going to go down on the Signal app controversy, but somebody needed to be fired. When this happened, we said that. Look,
yeah,
might be a good dude. Thank you for your service, but you can't be putting Atlantic journalists on a thread that features the Vice President of the United States and the Secretary of Defense. You just can't do that. So somebody had to lose a job. Now, it sounds like it's going to be Mike Waltz. Fox News also confirming that his deputy, Alex Wong, also among those removed from the office.
Wong!
President Trump, your thoughts?
He's fired. He's fired!
Jeez.
But as you would hear in a late-night infomercial, not so fast. There's more.
There's more?
So even though Mike Waltz has now been relieved from his duties as National Security Advisor, he's now been tasked by Donald Trump to be an ambassador to the UN. So he goes from being blown out, and let's call it what it is. They're going to say mutually agreed to part ways. He was blown out. He was the fall guy.
Sure.
He's now going to be the ambassador to the UN, which means there's an opening for National Security Advisor. Enter Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is now the interim National Security Advisor. He will also remain Secretary of State.
Got it.
So Rubio's
All
wearing
right.
two hats right now.
That's what Kash Patel was doing with the ATF, FBI director and interim director of ATF there for a while.
And we've said for a while, and I know Tony Kennett says this all the time, in the first 100 days, the most valuable cabinet member to Donald Trump has been Marco Rubio. He has done a phenomenal job. No complaints at all about the work that Marco Rubio has done. So now he's kind of double dipping. He's going to be taking on duties as the interim National Security Advisor until they find that full-time position.
I'm assuming he gets Waltz's paycheck too, right?
Oh, no.
You think that was a discussion between Rubio and Trump? Look, I'll do it, but there's going to be some more cash involved, right?
And then the Doge department was like, we have questions about that?
Yeah, that was Trump's response. Ask Elon. I'll leave it up to Elon, okay?
His last decision before he slides out the door. In other Trump firing news, the Trump administration has initiated the removal of several Biden holdovers in the White House.
There's still Biden holdovers?
Including the cat that was on the board overseeing the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum. Now, we're not talking about major positions here.
I got you.
But you know who that was, right? Doug Emhoff. Old Doug, who is the love interest of one Kamala Harris.
An alleged abuser of other women.
Correct.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, your thoughts?
He's fired. He's fired.
I think these guys should be blown out on day one. Like, you'll be okay if you don't have an acting director of the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum. Day one, I want all these people to have pink slips. And I think this is where the Pentagon has kind of got themselves into trouble, too. This is where Pete Hegseth is living right now. You've got so many of these holdovers over there that either hate Donald Trump, they're anti-Trump, never Trump Republicans, or Biden holdovers who are ultimately vested in to the failure of the Trump administration.
I mean, is this shocking to anyone? But because this is the Holocaust Museum, the memorial, the council or whatever, Susan Rice was let go. Ron Klain, who was part of the Biden administration, was let go. It's shocking to anyone. I don't care if it's a museum board member or not. That's not, those positions. Well, this position isn't supposed to be partisan. This is a nonpartisan. The country's under new management now, for God's sake. Don't be surprised that the former VP husband and alleged abuser and Biden's freaking chief of staff get the boot at whatever position they're holding in the administration.
If there's a Republican majority, and that's the White House, the Senate, and the House, which currently exist, tax dollars should not be spent on a salary for Susan Rice, Ron Klain, and Tom Perez if you've got the option to blow them out. This should have happened a long time ago. But again, you're right about old Doug Emhoff. He was the cat that had a little tryst with the nanny, allegedly. Yeah, it was a mess. We were told he was supposed to be the face of masculinity from Jen Psaki. We'll get into that a little bit later on, but we made a little Hammer and Nigel Records song about Doug Emhoff, the things he does with nannies, the fact that they tried to shove this dude down our throats as some sort of masculine alpha male. Remember when we put together this little Taylor Swift tribute?
How your role has reshaped the perception of masculinity.
He's a real creep. And he's married to the beef.
Do not come. Do not come.
That's what people say. That's what people say. His wife is a buffoon.
I haven't been to Europe.
Who drinks a lot of booze. That's what people say. That's what people say. But Jen Psaki on MSNBC thinks this tool's reshaping the perception of masculinity.
Except when I'm slapping them in the face or banging the nanny.
Cause he's banging all the nannies and he's slapping all the girls he sees. Bet he's got a disease.
Oh, boy. Doug Emhoff.
Doug Emhoff.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Little trip down memory lane there.
And all the nannies. I mean, the worst is when he and Kamala Harris kissed each other outdoors with their masks on. Yeah, the real face of masculinity there. I'm not going to kiss you unless you have your mask on and we're outdoors.
Hat tip to Mindy Winkler on those vocals, by the way. Our friend
From
Mindy
Hank?
Winkler, yes,
Kidding.
from Hank. Nige, if you need a reason to drink tonight, happy 58th birthday to singer turned actor Tim McGraw.
Yeah, okay.
58 years old. Most recently, I saw him on like the Yellowstone series and the spinoff series that's a part of that.
I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
So, Allison, this is kind of in your wheelhouse here. I know you're a new hit country kind of gal, like late 90s, early 2000s kind of country.
Yes.
So I put together a 7-song Tim McGraw montage. Nigel, I've set the over-under at 6.5.
She'll get them all.
Meaning I think she's going to run the table. So you're saying over 6.5.
She'll get them all.
All right, Allison, let's go.
I'm an Indian outlaw.
Yes.
Cherokee and
One for one.
Choctaw. My baby, she's a Chippewa.
Wow.
I've heard that forever.
Daddy, please.
Yes.
Don't take the girl.
2 for 2.
Of course.
3 for 3. Okay.
It's your love.
Yeah. Yes.
Just a song.
Trying to romance Faith Hill right there.
Yes.
5 for 5.
Ain't no closing time. Ain't no
Yes.
cover charge. Just country boys and girls getting down on the
I don't know
farm.
if I've heard that.
Barbecue stain on my white t-shirt.
yes.
She was killing
I
me.
played this song every 5 minutes on the Bear.
Mine, okay, you got there at the Bear after I did. Mine was I like it, I love it, and don't take the girl as well. I don't know that I heard that second to last one before. I don't know that I would have gotten
Country
that one.
boys and girls getting
Yeah.
down on the farm.
I don't know if I recognize that.
Ain't
one.
no closing time. Ain't no cover charge. Matt Bear, what's going on?
All right, Hammer, inbound 65, 4-minute delay from 29th to west. Also, eastbound 70, stop and go traffic, Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. South side, eastbound 465, slow roll from the White River over to Meridian Street and a crash on the south side, US 31, south of Stop 11 Road. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
You're right, though. He was great in that Yellowstone spinoff. I mean,
I haven't
McGraw
seen the
was
spinoff yet. I've seen a couple episodes, but I haven't gotten into it
he
yet.
was really, really good. Him and Faith Hill both.
72 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Coming up a little bit later on, Rob Kendall is going to be here. We're going to see if we can just tick him off just enough to where maybe he'll swear on the air. He's going to go off the rails. That's coming up a little bit later on. We've also got some tickets to give away for the Sancio IndyCar Grand Prix. It's May in Indy, baby. Embrace it. It's the best month of the year.
Come on.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower. Future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Gotta love summertime. It's for enjoying outdoor music and vacations, and our pals at AAA Hoosier Motor Club can help you save on both. AAA is now the official partner of Ruoff Music Center, and AAA members are going to enjoy some big-time benefits. Early entry into concerts, access to the AAA Premier Lounge. Can't wait to go see Chris Stapleton this summer.
Concerts at Ruoff, always a good time, always a fun time. Same with going on a vacation. And AAA members save with access to hotel discounts, rental car discounts, and a lot more, along with complimentary travel planning. Plus, if you run into trouble on the road, AAA has you covered. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas. AAA is there 24/7, 365, no matter where your travels take you. So do yourself a favor. Join AAA today. AAA.com, 844-GO-AAA-GO, or stop by your local AAA office.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Sundown Gardens, Hamilton County Spring Nursery Headquarters.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hi there, I'm Nigel. Jason Hammer, right over there. The Pacers-Cavs series is set. We know when, we know where, and we know the odds of Game 1. Now, I'm assuming you have your picks in your new betting podcast, correct?
So we didn't dive too much into this series yet because it is Kentucky Derby weekend, and that took a lot of our attention on the betting show.
Okay. Which is it out?
It is out.
Okay.
Degenerates Next Door. Make sure you follow that Twitter account and find that podcast wherever you get it. We're talking the Kentucky Derby, some playoff games that are happening tonight. Rob dives into the Colts season win total, which is set at 7.5. Over under 7.5.
Interesting.
But as for the Pacers and the Cavs, Game 1 is Sunday. Now, the time, we don't know yet. It will either be 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. on TNT. Kind of depends on what happens with some other games. Are there going to be Game 7s and whatnot? But Game 1, Sunday evening on TNT. Game 2, also in Cleveland, will be on Tuesday night. The first home games in this series a week from tomorrow, May 9th. Back here in Indy on a Friday night. So the crowds get rocking and rolling on a Friday, and then Sunday will be Game 4. If the series goes on, the Game 6 would be back in Indy on May 15th. So it's the Pacers against the Cavs. National media, man, they're all on the Cavs.
Yeah, well, number 1 seed.
Best record in the East.
Pacers plus 8. 8-point underdogs.
Yeah.
Pacers this Sunday.
What Cleveland does well is the same thing what the Pacers do. They got a deep bench. They play team basketball. They're pretty good defensively.
It's like what happened with Cleveland? Like all of a sudden, like a couple of years ago, they were nothing, and then all of a sudden they're the number 1 in the Eastern Conference again.
They made a deal and got Donovan Mitchell, who's a dude. They drafted well. They've made some good moves, and again, they're like a clone of the Pacers. They play great team basketball. It's not built around just one guy, and their bench is pretty deep. But let's not kid ourselves. This series gives us a great opportunity to just crap all over the city of Cleveland. Cleveland, the mistake by the lake. They literally had to call the fire department once to put out their water because Lake Erie was so dirty it caught fire. When you're calling the fire department to put out your water, you've got a problem. And here's a little Cleveland tourism tribute.
Fun times in Cleveland today. Cleveland. Come on down to Cleveland town, everyone. Come and look at both of our buildings. Buy some food that's prepared near the street. Watch the poor people all wait for buses. Cleveland leads the nation in drifters. See our river that catches on fire.
Thank you.
Don't slow down in East Cleveland or you'll die. Buy a house for the price of a VCR. Our main export is crippling depression.
Cleveland! Crippling depression is their main export.
Oh,
fun facts for kids.
Come see our 2 buildings.
All right.
Yes.
Let's have a little morality discussion here. What would you do in this situation, Nige? An armored Brinks truck dropped $300,000 on a street in Illinois this past week. And onlookers came by and started picking it up like they were inside one of those cash machines you see on a game show.
Like straight cash.
$300,000.
Oh, I bet somebody got fired.
This happened in the Oak Park Village, not too far from Chicago. A representative for the Oak Park Police did not say whether people who grabbed the cash will be facing criminal charges.
Well, do they have the people that grabbed the cash? I don't think they've caught them yet.
3 bags of money fell off the truck.
Man, how does that happen?
And it was all of a sudden like, we used to do this at the casino. We had a machine where you put people inside of it, you put money at the bottom, and like hurricane winds blow. And you got to grab the money and
bottom.
Put it in your pockets and all that kind of stuff. It was fun.
Seems like it was a little bit easier for these people to grab the cash. Now, I'm sure there are plenty of cameras around there, and with facial recognition technology, the people, there was like 50 to 100 people that were, going into a frenzy. And I would probably return that cash at some point because this happened. Didn't this happen here a couple of years ago? Like on 70 towards the airport?
Near the airport, yeah.
People were stopping in the middle of the road because a Brinks truck or a security truck, the back door open and cash were just spilling out
right
on the interstate.
So here's what I would have done. I would have grabbed, let's say I've grabbed $500 off the street. I go to the police and say I found $100. Okay. I'm a good citizen. I support the police.
All right.
I want to make sure I'm doing my part. Here's the $100 that I was able to save from all these greedy bastards out on the streets of Indianapolis. You're welcome.
Yeah, until they look at the security footage and recognize your face and they see you like stuffing your pockets full of 100s.
Some fat guy with big ears has well over $500 out there. Hey, update. Did you get storms last night, Nige?
Did not. You
were right.
I was right. Yeah, we got the softball game in, got everything in, and I'm not saying I'm not saying it was completely dry when we woke up this morning, but I didn't get any thunderstorms or anything like that. Did you?
No, and this is what happened last night.
We were arguing with each other about this on the air yesterday.
Right.
I didn't think there was anything. I didn't think anything was going to happen.
And you were right. You were 100% right. I'm in bed last night. It's about 11 o'clock. Crystal rolls over to me and goes, it never did storm. Nigel was right. Like, that's the last thing I want to hear before I go to sleep from my wife. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, it's Matt Bear for Trajan Wealth. The weather is so Indiana spring right now, just all over the place. The markets can't be trusted. Where do we find our peace of mind? Start by securing our retirement goals with the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth. Trajan Wealth. Always with Hoosier values at their core. Call Trajan and schedule your complimentary consultation at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. That word, a fiduciary, okay? Fiduciary, you want that. You want it. Trajan is a fiduciary, meaning they have to act with your best interest at heart. They collaborate with you in assembling a portfolio that's customized to your timeline only, your hopes and dreams. Call and schedule a consultation. Again, that's 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. That first complimentary consultation is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
JMV here from SM's Home and Garden in Bargersville and Sundown Gardens in Westfield. May has arrived and Mother's Day is approaching. Spring flowers are on full display, and you have to see the selection. Miss M's Home and Garden at Sundown Gardens are fully stocked with great annuals, trees, shrubs, decor, and more. Get an early jump on Mother's Day. Sundown Gardens, 186th and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. SundownGardens.com. Miss M's Home and Garden on State Road 135 in Bargersville. MissM'sHomeandGarden.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hey, this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Gone after only 100 days. Nothing on radar in central Indiana right now. Some sprinkles down in the southeast part of the state and some rain coming into the northwest part of the state. You could see some more a little bit later on, though. A 70% chance this afternoon. 71 right now downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. More on why Mike Waltz is out as National Security Advisor. Fox's Mark Meredith reports.
News of this broke during the morning White House press briefing today, where reporters shouted out as it was coming out, but the White House didn't respond. So far, President Trump has not commented on the actual dismissal of his national security advisor, Mike Waltz. What's been interesting, of course, though, is that the White House is certainly not denying these reports. It's been circulating for the last several hours, and if they wanted to come out here and deny it, of course, that would have already taken place. What has been interesting, of course, is some of the immediate questions about why now, because it was just yesterday that Waltz was at the table among cabinet members in the cabinet room for nearly 2 hours and had a chance to brief the president about those national security priorities.
Gunshots and homicide detectives on Indy's south side early this morning. Ryan Hedrick explains why.
And when officers arrived, they did locate an adult male with injuries consistent with gunshot wounds behind a building in that area.
Indy Metro Police Officer Tommy Thompson talking about what the cops witnessed right after midnight behind the Laundry and Tan connection along Madison Avenue.
EMS did arrive on scene and transport that victim to an area hospital.
And that's where the man died, Thompson says.
At this time, we continue to ask that the community come forward with any information they may have.
Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You've heard him say religion is coming back in a big way. President Trump hosting a National Day of Prayer event in the Rose Garden at the White House this afternoon. The president announcing that he will sign an executive order establishing a presidential commission on religious liberty. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick will serve as the chairman of that commission. He calls the new commission one of the most important in history.
There's a saying that no one should get between a doctor and a patient. I think we would say no one should get between God and a believer. No one should get between God and those seeking him.
Patrick also called out the Biden administration, saying they attacked people of faith for 4 years. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, inbound 65, stop-and-go traffic 29 down to west. Eastbound 70, working on a 5-minute delay right now from Tibbs Avenue into the south split south side. Eastbound 465, that's stop-and-go from Kentucky Avenue over to US 31. Northeast side, eastbound 465, slow off Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. A crash on the northeast side, it's westbound 96th Street at Allisonville Road. And a crash on the south side, US 31, south of Stop 11 Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered hit and miss showers and isolated storms continue into tonight with lows in the upper 50s. Partly to mostly cloudy skies expected Friday, but scattered showers and storms possible in the afternoon and nighttime hours with highs in the low to mid 70s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Clemency hearings. Hammer for Indiana death row inmate Benjamin Ritchie. Get ready. They'll be taking place in the coming weeks. He is condemned to die. May 20th execution. Clemency, by the way. We all know that. It's like mercy, leniency. Please.
Right.
Please don't kill this guy for murdering another individual.
And this guy's one of the worst. You guys know I'm somewhat personally vested into this story, and I have been for a long time. Benjamin Ritchie is the scumbag that shot and killed the police officer in Beech Grove. And I remember that night I was doing high school play-by-play for the local regional network doing football games. I was a youngster back in 2002. And it was that night when the news broke that this had happened, and it was Officer William Toney. And Benjamin Ritchie shot him 4 times, one of them connecting above the officer's bulletproof vest, taking his life, and had a family, beautiful wife, kids, all taken away because of this piece of crap. And since then, this guy really thinks he's a celebrity. He's been doing all these MSNBC interviews about people in death row and all these documentaries, ended up getting the badge number of the officer tattooed on his neck. When it came time for his sentencing, and the grieving widow is reading her statement, Benjamin Ritchie stood up, looked at her, and called her the B word in the court. And now he's wanting mercy. His defense team is saying, well, he had a rough childhood. His mom drank while she was pregnant, so he might have fetal alcohol syndrome. I don't care. He knew right from wrong. He was competent enough to do all these MSNBC interviews, so he's clearly competent enough to face justice here. And May 5th, that is one of the first clemency hearings at the Indiana State Prison up in Michigan City. That's where the state's death chamber is located. There's another one on May 12th at the Indiana Government Center here in Indy. And his defense team, again, is trying to say, well, you can't execute somebody who had a pre-existing condition like fetal alcohol syndrome.
Good luck with that.
This is one of the worst of the worst.
Fetal alcohol syndrome is really an excuse they're trying to use.
They're saying it damaged his brain, and because his brain is damaged, you can't execute somebody who the state of Indiana views as mentally incompetent.
I shot and killed a cop and got their badge number tattooed on my neck, all because my mom drank when she was pregnant. I don't have any sympathy whatsoever. At some point, you do know right from wrong. At some point, you got to be there's got to be justice for the victims and the families involved, and clemency. Go for it. I don't know that it's. Has it ever worked in the state of Indiana? There hasn't been that many executions thus far over the past couple of decades. Anyway,
it's been pretty slow. Yeah. You're right, but think back to the trial of Elias Dorsey, the guy who shot and took the life of Officer Breanne Leith. They tried to use that same defense. Well, he was mentally incompetent of standing trial. He didn't know right from wrong. And that worked.
Death sentence got taken off the table, didn't it?
Right, death sentence was removed, and the Leith family wanted the death sentence for Elias Dorsey. So I get why Richie's attorneys are like, hey, let's try to do the same thing here. But for over 20 years now, this guy who has been out of appeals for a long time, just living off taxpayer money inside the jail cell up in Michigan City, doing interview after interview. It's time. It's time. And I hope the folks on that parole board understand all of the things that are in play here. Calling the grieving widow the B word, the tattoo of the badge number, all of the bull crap, it needs to end.
How much would you pay to be there? Say there was some sort of like charity raffle drawing or some sort of live auction, and they said that you could, because that's one of your life's goals, isn't it? To be present at an execution of a murderer.
Because they don't allow media to cover these things really in the state of Indiana, which I think is a shame, and that law needs to change. I know some lawmakers are working on that. I've got a hand in it. But I'd have to ask Crystal, what can we spend?
What can we mortgage?
Right. Because if I'm going to pay X amount of money for like front row tickets to see Tennessee and Alabama,
sure,
like I did this past year, I'd pay probably a lot more to watch Benjamin and Richie die.
Okay.
So I got to figure out what we can do, how much we can spend, but
get the banks involved.
Right. Take out a loan.
Reason for loan. What would you put there?
Humanitarian. I'm making the world a better place by watching this guy slowly take his last breath and die. I hate Benjamin and Richie, and I hope he dies on May 20th. Man, I hate this story too.
Oh, no.
Allison, when we're talking about Michael Bolton, we're talking about the musician here, not the former Trump advisor with the handlebar mustache. For those who don't remember Michael Bolton, give me a little mood music. Powerful voice, like every late 80s, early 90s love song, songs you would hear on like B105. Every fifth song was probably a Michael Bolton song. And what I liked about Michael Bolton, he laughs at himself. Like, he doesn't take himself too seriously. He does these wacky parody videos making fun of himself now. He announced he's got incurable brain cancer, Nige. And he's facing, quote, a reality of mortality right now in his life.
Well, we all face a reality of mortality, but when you're told to your face, this is what you're going to die from, that's next level. I couldn't even imagine what that's like. He's 72 years old and was still performing, to my knowledge.
I mean, hit catalog. They made fun of him in Office Space because there was a character named Michael Bolton. Why should I change my name? He's the one that sucks. And like the singer Michael Bolton thought that was hilarious. Like he did, while people made fun of him, man. So that's total bummer. Michael Bolton. Off the top of your head, how many Michael Bolton songs can you name?
Oh, come on, don't do that. I don't. When a man loves a woman,
said I loved you, but I lied.
See, I would never. No, I can't. I have no idea.
Love is a beautiful thing. I'm trying to think because these were on the radio all the freaking time, and he had like the red poofy, almost like a skullet. It wasn't quite a mullet, but it wasn't quite, a haircut. It was a skullet almost, but it was poofy red curly hair.
Let me look here.
Allison, any Michael Bolton songs pop to mind for you?
Just When a Man Loves a Woman, and then the How Am I Supposed to Live Without You?
How am I supposed to live without you? They played that in a Saved by the Bell episode where they Kelly and Zach were breaking up at the dance. Remember? That was the song playing in the background. It's a shame. So yeah, hope Michael Bolton does well, man. But that's not good news. All right, according to a new survey, 38% of Americans hate it when one of their friends or family members asks them help in moving.
Oh, like moving houses, furniture?
Yeah, whatever. Hey, man, could you come over and help me move? We're loading up stuff. We're getting out of the house. 38% of Americans hate it when their buddies ask that. I think a lot of Americans are lying because I bet that number's a lot higher.
Yeah.
Moving sucks.
If it's like if you're moving from house to house, that kind of, you're not putting out cash for professional moving that does suck. Yeah. I mean, come on. You're in your you're an adult now. Shell out the extra cash. Now, I've asked my neighbors to help me move like a TV before.
That's different.
And a refrigerator.
But I'm talking about loading up a U-Haul truck and moving a couch in and out,
No way,
all that kind of stuff.
Hey, I'll throw in some beer and pizza.
Hey, you better throw in a lot more. You better throw in my medical bills when I throw my back out now. Now, let me ask you this. Let's say you are owed a favor by one of these dudes. You either got them out of a jam, maybe you bailed him out, maybe you introduced him to his wife, maybe you helped him move. Is he obligated to do the same for you?
Yes.
That's what I think too.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just like being in a relationship. It's about leverage, right? I'll be willing to take a little heat once in a while, but I put it in the back of my mind, and I will use that for leverage when I want something later on.
Other things we hate our friends asking us to do. This is my favorite. Try their home brewed beer.
Oh, it's never good.
Never. Like, I'm not talking about like the guys that bring us beer from their breweries, their mom and pop breweries,
right?
Because there's a lot of good mom and pop breweries around the city, but not the stuff that you made in your bathroom,
right? If Todd Meyer makes a special beer out of his bathtub, I don't want to put that in my mouth.
Yeah. Here's one. Stay sober so they can get drunk.
Oh, the designated driver.
Things we hate our friends asking us to do. Hey, can you drive? Where have I heard? Where has that happened recently before? I can't think.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure you asked Rob Kendall to do that at our bowling event. Here's another one. Attend their destination wedding. Like, if you want me to fly to Florida or fly to Vegas to be part of your wedding, and I'm not like the best man or the son or whatever of the party getting married, I'm probably out.
I think there's a reason people do that too. Couples do that because the smaller the crowd, the less they have to pay.
Right.
They want you're doing a destination wedding, especially if it's far away or something like that. Then they don't want anybody there.
Allison, here's one for you. When women say, "Hold my hair back so I can vomit."
Yeah, that's part of the territory. That's
part of being a chick?
That's part of being a friend, a good friend, actually. Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Great wing woman, Allison. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hi, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden in Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Our stores are blooming with flowers, hanging baskets, bedding plants, perennials, annual containers, shrubs, trees, and much more. With so many colors and varieties, it's the best looking selection you'll find anywhere. Come see the difference. Why, you ask? Our plants are from top quality Midwest growers, many right here in Indianapolis. Check the specials on our patio furniture like all-weather wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. You can even choose your own custom cushions on most sets. We specialize in excellent quality mid-price patio furniture that's in stock at our 37,000 square foot warehouse, all priced at 30% off. See our large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and the Big Green Egg. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinic's treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
As our loved ones age, ensuring their safety at home becomes a top priority. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I'll be right back with some practical things you can do to reduce the possibility of a fall or injury.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Removing tripping hazards such as rugs and floor clutter is one way to prevent or minimize falls around the home. Another is to position grab bars in the restroom and other common areas where your loved one may need some extra support. Contact your local area agency on aging to inquire about low-cost or free installation services. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Mother's Day is almost here. Miss M's Home and Garden is fully stocked with high-quality annuals, trees, shrubs, decor, and more. State Road 135 in Bargersville.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
Think of it as WIBC on 2x speed. Big opinions, great moments, and just enough chaos. The WIBC Mashup Podcast brings it all together in one fast, fun listen. New episode each weekday. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
All right, Matthew, what's going on?
What's up, Hammer? Looking at southbound 65, stop and go MLK. To Meridian Penn is a 7-minute delay. Eastbound 70 on an 8-minute delay from Belmont to the South Split and a crash. On the south side, it's US 31 south of Stop 11 Road. Crash north side, westbound 96th Street near Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now it's 72 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Nigel, we were just discussing things that your buddies ask you to do, but you hate. Moving is on the list.
Helping them move. Now, I am that neighbor. Sometimes I'll, again, can you help me hang the TV?
Right.
Or just move this couch from one room to the other.
That's different than a whole
asked.
moving process, right? I say getting a new couch and taking it upstairs, asking friends to do that, that's not as bad as doing that like 8 times, taking a table out.
Moving houses.
Right.
I got one for you. Buying something that we'll never use from their kids' school fundraiser.
Oh, those things are the worst. I hated doing those.
Unless it's, even like the cookie dough stuff. They do the cookie dough in our neighborhood. Sometimes I don't mind necessarily the Girl Scout cookies. The Thin Mints, keep those suckers frozen in the freezer. I don't mind that, but if it's somebody you know, and you got to do it. And
I just hate even asking. Like, we got to a point to where, like, if Chris's baseball team or whatever, hey, we've got to do fundraising. How much does it cost? Let me just buy it right now. Yeah. Like, let me write you a check because I don't want to have to ask people. I hate collecting money. I'll almost pay double. Just here's a check.
And I'm guilty of like bringing I feel like I brought something into work for people to, get.
We all have before.
We brought something into work for people to sign up for our kids to raise money, and I can't think of what it is right now. Maybe it was popcorn or something like that. But
why can't the kids sell 6 packs of Miller Lite?
Now that's something I would donate.
Right?
Sure.
Like,
look, sure, you're raising money for your softball team uniform. What am I buying here? Oh, 30 packs of Miller Lite. Okay.
You can get a tall boy. You can get regulars. You can get 40s. We got options here. Like, you want to get some money into fundraising, that's how it's done, my friends. Coming up here in just a little bit, we've got some changes in Washington. We got some folks getting fired, some folks getting replaced. One dude's double dipping. We've got that. And something we haven't done in a while is an Old Balls Tim Walz update.
The governor of Minnesota?
Yes. By the way, Before we hit a break here, we mentioned earlier, we used Todd Meyer, longtime producer of Garrison, here as an example. He seems like the kind of guy that would make his own beer at his house and want you to try it.
That's it.
And that's another thing that sucks.
Did he just text us?
Yeah, quote, "So what did you just say about me? A friend of mine texted me and said you guys were talking about me."
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
He looks like the kind of guy.
Here, try my home brew.
It made this home brew, guys. You guys want to try my home brew? No. It's pretty freaking good. Greg and I used to drink it all the time.
Remember when we would do the Sunday show? I was just talking to him about this the other day because he's on the Fan now. Todd Meyer is an assistant programmer for the Fan, but he was a longtime producer for Greg Garrison. You and I used to do the Sunday show live here, and Todd Meyer was our producer.
He was.
And he would bring us in. He would bring us beer in, and it's called Spec X. You remember the old Spec X?
Oh, yeah.
But I think it was from like a dirty 30 pack that Garrison had given him like 5 years prior. Here's some more beer. I think he was trying to get rid of it.
It says Bush inauguration on it. I don't know where this is coming from. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just beginning or refining your financial strategy, we're here to support you. Let's grow something lasting together. Text GROW to 888-262-1104 to start planning for your future full of possibility. That's GROW to 888-262-1104. Take the first step today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hammer here from my friends at Diamonds Direct, right there, Keystone at the crossing by the Green Bridge. The biggest selection, the lowest prices, and the best customer service. Now, I want you to remember all of those things because time is a factor. Mother's Day, right around the corner. Graduation, right around the corner. And maybe, guys, you just want to buy a gift because... Let's be honest, you're no prize, and the fact that anybody loves you at all is nothing short of a miracle. So please, do yourself a favor and hang on to that woman like grim death and make a trip to Diamonds Direct right now. Stop by, tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Hey, it's Matt Baer for Cochran Exteriors. Don't wait to beautify your home for summer for a fresh new look and increased home value. New siding by Cochran Exteriors is the answer. From James Hardy fiber cement siding to a big array of vinyl siding colors and styles, the experienced pros at Cochran have all the choices. Plus, a lifetime workmanship warranty and over 10,000 satisfied customers. For your free estimate, call Cochran Exteriors at 317-ROOFING or visit CochranExteriors.com. Tell them I sent you.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
May 13th to 15th, Indy welcomes the Sweets and Snacks Expo, North America's largest candy and snacks event. 1,000 leading candy and snack companies will debut their latest and best-selling products alongside world-class education and standout events like Happy Hour at Gainbridge Fieldhouse and a live Indy 500 practice session. Retailers and distributors, register now and get 25% off at sweetsandsnacks.com/Indy. This is an industry event. If you're a fan of candy and snacks, you'll have to wait for the latest sweets and snacks to hit shelves.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News. 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
He says he's honored to continue to serve. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Former Congressman Mike Waltz, who's been serving as National Security Advisor, now being nominated by President Trump as U.S. Ambassador to the UN after a National Prayer Day event that did not include Waltz, who'd been under pressure to resign after a reporter was mistakenly added to a group chat.
For now, we understand that the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, who shared sensitive, some say classified attack plans on that Signal group chat, is safe. He was at the White House in the Rose Garden. Other National Security Council officials brought in by National Security Advisor Mike Waltz will likely be out soon, we're told.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. Secretary of State Marco Rubio will also serve as National Security Advisor for now. A federal judge says the Trump administration has to use an immigration law with more due process rights to deport suspected foreign gang members instead of a wartime law.
Texas-based federal judge Fernando Rodriguez, appointed by President Trump, has issued this order saying Trump's invocation of the Alien Enemies Act was unlawful. The judge says there's no invasion or predatory incursion that warrants Trump's proclamation of the Alien Enemies Act, writing in part, quote, "The proclamation does not describe an armed group of individuals entering the United States as an organized unit to attack a city, coastal town, or other defined geographical area with the purpose of plundering or destroying property and lives."
Fox's Bill Malugin. The judge is barring some deportations of Venezuelans in South Texas as a larger legal fight continues. The wife of one accused gang member deported to El Salvador calls again for his return after a Supreme Court ruling for the administration to facilitate it.
So why are they still waiting? Enough is enough.
This as some May Day rallies across the U.S. focus on migrant rights in addition to workers' rights. The Dow up 83 at the close. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A fatal shooting in Indianapolis that police first thought was a car crash. You had some scattered showers near Newcastle and Shelbyville a little bit earlier. Most of those are out of here. You got some showers and thunderstorms in northwest Indiana, too, and a 70% chance that you could see some later here in the central part of the state. It's 70 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A murder happened this afternoon about 2 on Rolling Dunes Drive on the city's west side. Before police could get there, calls to dispatch made it clear that it was a shooting. And when they arrived, they found a man dead. No age or identifying information yet, and no arrest announced. A possible sellout of the grandstands at the Indy 500.
It's a steady growth. Over the last several years, we've seen incremental growth for our crowd for the Indianapolis 500.
Michael Kaltenmark, Senior Marketing Director for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, tells Wish TV ticket sales are up 4% over where they were this time last year and says a sellout may be imminent. He's also asking you to dress up on Fridays in May.
We like to call those 500 Fashion Fridays. So, yeah, break out your checkered flag gear, your wing and wheel gear, your IndyCar merchandise. Wear that to work with pride because where else but Central Indiana do we celebrate May like this?
In July 22, a 4-year-old's life came to an end, and investigators say the child had cocaine, LSD, and ecstasy in his system. Now the child's father, Jonathan Mulville of Fort Wayne, has agreed to plead guilty to a neglect charge, which will earn him a 20-year prison sentence. Police found drugs in the house within a child's reach, and the place was a horror horrid mess with trash piles and feces smeared on the walls. The child's mother will be sentenced May 12th, Mulville May 21st. Some people saw comments from the lieutenant governor as racist. Ryan Hedrick reports he denies that.
Micah Beckwith talking about people who are criticizing his comments that he made about the 3/5 compromise.
I mean, that's what the Democrat Party pays these churches to turn out voters to vote for Democrats.
And Beckwith says that criticism is coming from people who aren't focused on promoting faith.
There have been inner city black pastors that told me the Democrat Party will pay them thousands of dollars if they just get black voters to the polls. So these guys are not pushing true, authentic faith. They're pushing politics.
Governor Braun says he did not like Beckwith's comment.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Employee pricing. That's right. At Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, you can get employee pricing across a full lineup of your favorite trucks and SUVs. Their entire American inventory has been marked with employee pricing, so you pay what they pay on F-150s, on Super Duties, Explorers, all of them with employee pricing. And if you need something a little smaller but still want to be able to haul the crew and cargo around, the Edge is the perfect choice for you. And you'll definitely enjoy the excellent fuel economy. Plus, it's loaded with safety features. Get more to your door with Andy Moore Ford. Simply purchase your vehicle online and they'll deliver it to you. And if you need to sell or trade your current vehicle, the time has never been better. Andy Moore Ford will pay top dollar for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from them. Employee pricing on all your favorite Fords are at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at Andy Moore Ford, MOHR.
I love Andy.
AndyMooreFord.com.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
What's happening, Chris? We have a hit on the southwest side. This is northbound Kentucky Avenue at 465, closing the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to High School Road. Eastbound 70 grinding in from the south split back to Hold. That's an 11-minute delay. Southbound 65, 8-minute delay from the White River Bridge to West Street. South side eastbound 465, stop-and-go from I-70. Over to Harding Street. Crash on the east side, Washington at Emerson Avenue. And on the northeast side, eastbound 465, stop and go from Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Cracker Barrel. Big cravings call for Cracker Barrel's new Big Country Skillets. Choose your entree plus 2 sides and a drink, starting at $9.99. New Big Country Skillets now at Cracker Barrel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered hit and miss showers and isolated storms continue into tonight with lows in the upper 50s. Partly to mostly cloudy skies expected Friday, but scattered showers and storms possible in the afternoon and nighttime hours with highs in the low to mid 70s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
You're fired! Donald Trump, Trump, I guess, I don't know if this guy got fired much as he's resigning or stepping down or getting transferred to a different role, but the National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz, Congressman Waltz from Florida, very successful congressman, very well-respected military vet, kind of involved in the whole Signal app debacle where a bunch of high-level Trump cabinet members were communicating on the Signal app about bombing terrorists in Yemen, and there was a journalist that was accidentally added to the conversation. Like Tulsi Gabbard was on this text, and J.D. Vance, and just a Pete Hegseth, and somebody had to probably pay the price for that little faux pas, if
and when you say
will.
a journalist was added, it wasn't a friendly journalist. It wasn't like Steve Ducey was added to it or somebody they wanted to tip off, Brian Kilmeade.
Sure.
It was from the super liberal Atlantic, who probably still believes that somehow this has something to do with January 6th.
So he, what'd you say? He got transferred. Now he's going to play another role in the Trump administration,
Ambassador to the UN.
Okay, well, all right, that's something. All right, so he's still got a gig. And
demotion, but it's a gig.
There was a couple of other firings at Trump, the lower level, like Doug Emhoff and Ron Klain, who was former chief of staff of Biden administration.
Tom Perez, who was the former head of the DNC.
Yeah, that's right. From their roles in the Holocaust Memorial Council. And they're all complaining, well, this is supposed to be bipartisan. you know what?
So was the January 6th commission.
Yeah, of course. Well, I did have Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney on it.
Oh, that's
on the
right.
commission.
That's
Please.
right. They told Jim Banks, who has served his country, he was not allowed to be part of the January 6th commission.
Pelosi, that's right. Pelosi said, "Nah, we don't need you." Kinzinger, who cries and is a never Trumper, was sure, but yeah. So
he believed the ghost of Kiev was real, and they put him on the January 6th committee.
we don't have time to explain that one, but look that one up. That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
So in regards to the National Security Advisor position, because that is now open, if you scroll through LinkedIn, I think you'll probably see that posted at this point.
Is it really?
I don't think so. But Marco Rubio will be taking that on in the interim. So Rubio is going to be the Secretary of State and the National Security Advisor, at least in the interim, until they find the full-time replacement. Now, maybe that's a position Rubio would rather have. I don't know. But again, Marco Rubio has been the most relied upon Trump cabinet member from the new administration taking over.
What was Trump's nickname for him back in the day? Was it something with his hands, or was it
Little Marco?
Oh God, how could I forget that?
Liddle.
Little Marco. And now he's like Trump's right-hand man, sitting at his side at these cabinet meetings, like the one that they had yesterday. Pete Hegseth on one side and Marco Rubio on the other. So strange, man.
So we go from talking about Mike Waltz to old balls Tim Walz.
Joe Biden's got old balls. Chuck Schumer has old balls. Mitch McConnell has old balls. Bernie Sanders has old balls. Dirty, saggy balls. Pelosi has old balls. But Tim Walz has the oldest balls of them all.
Tampon Tim, Kamala Harris's running mate. He did an interview. Like, it was one of these stage shows, right? Where, for whatever reason, people can pay money to go watch this clown speak.
Who would do that?
I have no idea.
This is the governor of Minnesota, right? Picked by Kamala Harris.
Correct.
To be a running mate.
He was talking about why he was selected.
In the situation we were at, running against a very unusual opponent on the other side. And look, my job was to do, look, I knew I was on the ticket. I would argue because we did a lot of amazing progressive things in Minnesota that improved people's lives. But I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this.
Yeah, that worked really well, didn't it?
You lost every single swing state, Tampon Tim. No white guy watching football, working on his truck, which I love that stereotype, by the way, wanted anything to do with you.
Yeah, and didn't they put out commercials? Do you remember those commercials, those Kamala Harris, Tim Walz commercials where guys were, out there on the farm, on some sort of gurney underneath their car, changing the oil, and they roll out and say, I'm voting for Kamala Harris too.
They had Lady Gaga pretend to be a farmer in one of those, remember? Just a shockingly bad campaign. But we mentioned this earlier in the show.
Shockingly bad candidate.
Right. But think about Tim Walz. We mentioned this a little bit earlier. He was picked because they thought he was some alpha male. But then we watched that video, and he's supposed to be a football coach. We watched the video of him playing Madden with AOC and another cringeworthy video, and he has no idea what he's talking about. I'm going to call a pick six. A pick six isn't a play, moron. It's an organic thing that happens.
I'm going to have a beer.
Right. That's the same energy that it was.
Elizabeth Warren.
And this is what the political left does. They find the biggest beta possible, but then they try to shove it in your face like it's somebody that's masculine. Remember when Jen Psaki did this? Now, for those who don't remember Jen Psaki,
who is she?
Donald Trump.
The press secretary with the extremely red hair.
Got it. All right. Now I'm familiar. I remember.
When Jen Psaki was sitting down with Doug Emhoff, Kamala Harris's
not this
love
guy
interest.
Again.
This is the same dude who was knocking up the nannies, smacking chicks around, allegedly. And just a horrible dude, but they try to make him look like Johnny Tough Guy.
Important part or an interesting part of how people have talked about your role here is how your role has reshaped the perception of masculinity. And I'm not sure you planned on that, but you are a incredibly supportive.
I can't hear anymore.
Yeah.
He has not reshaped the role of masculinity, nor has old balls Tim Walz. Stop telling us these guys are tough guys. One guy wants to put tampons in the men's room, and the other guy, oh yeah, he's the real poster child for masculinity. Knocked up the nanny. Okay.
And then smacked her around, allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, these guys, they get shoved in your face by the political left. They're total zeros. And this is the problem Democrats have right now. Dudes like us have nobody that we can say, that's my guy. Like, there were even Democrats, they weren't just white, that were looking at Donald Trump going, man, I don't normally vote. I'm not even into politics, but I'm with this dude right here. The white dudes for Harris thing never took off.
Not at all.
America's football coach. I'm going to call a pick six.
That's the best.
It's like
That
if
is
you're
the best.
If you're a baseball fan, it's the third inning. Here comes a walk-off. No, this is not a walk-off. It's the third inning, and you have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. Rolling Stone, Nige, has a list. The best movie dogs of all time.
Movie dogs.
Movie dogs. The best dogs in film of all time. Coming in at number 1 from the film Lassie Comes Home.
Whatever.
Lassie.
And now, screw that. Turner and Hooch. Give me Hooch every day and twice on Sunday.
That came in at number 10.
Okay. All right. At least it's on there.
Number 9 was Baxter from Anchorman.
You ate a whole wheel of cheese.
Speak English, please.
I don't speak Spanish.
Some of these I don't know. Okay, Air Bud came in at number 2 from the movie Air Bud.
Is that Kevin Bacon? Is that a Kevin Bacon? Yeah.
I'm not
sure it is.
Number 3, Toto from The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
I thought that would be above Air Bud. Number 4, Brandy the Pit Bull from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then in number 5, I have no idea what this is. Asta the Wire Fox Terrier in The Thin Man.
The only thing I know about The Thin Man, is that a Stephen King novel that they turned into a movie? Where
no idea.
I curse you, thinner. And I don't think I could have been more wrong on Kevin Bacon and Air Bud.
He did the air up there.
That's what I'm thinking of.
The air up there, not Air Bud. And the thing is, had Kevin Bacon actually heard you say that, you know how pissed off he'd probably be? He's one of those dudes that gets real salty. Totally different movie.
Where's Old Yeller? Can a brother get some Old Yeller up in here?
Didn't make the list, which is crap.
No.
What about Homeward Bound?
No.
My kids have seen that. I know what you're talking about.
Bruiser from Legally Blonde made the list. Einstein from Back to the Future.
Oh, John Wick's dog. Didn't he go on is it that the initial premise of John Wick is that he went on a revenge killing spree because they killed his dog or something like that?
It came in at number 13. 13 was the Pitbull and John Wick. But no Marley and Me? Like, come on. People.
Milo and Otis?
What are we
the
doing?
The pug from Men in Black?
Matt Baer, save us.
Westbound 74 stop-and-go traffic right now going to Brownsburg after 465 up to Ronald Reagan Parkway. And we have a crash on Kentucky Avenue, southwest side. It's heading north and at 465 blocking the right lane, slowing us back to High School Road. Now we have a crash also on the southwest side. It's southbound 465 before I-70 in the middle of the interstate, blocking the center lane, causing a slowdown. No delay yet. 12-minute delay on eastbound 70 from Holt Road to the South Split. Southbound 65 delayed 9 minutes. White River Bridge to West Street. And inbound 69 stop-and-go traffic 106th Street down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Inbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Are you all right?
I just imagine I got the air up there confused with Air Bud when talking about Kevin Bacon. I mean, if you remember the air up there, it's actually kind of has sort of a redeeming cultural quality. He goes to Africa to recruit a basketball player, right?
Yes.
And I
But basketball ties it together, though. Air Bud.
Okay, all right. I'll give myself a little grace there, but I'm sure the people on the YouTube chat won't.
The YouTube chat wants to know where's Cujo at.
Cujo and Beethoven.
Right?
Oh, Clifford.
Benji.
Right. It's Benji. This is
list
ridiculous.
sucks.
This Rolling Stone list of the best movie dogs of all time stinks.
Is this anything next?
Galaxy Concrete Coatings. These guys are so good, man. They are the best in the business here when we're talking about coatings for your concrete floor. Whether it's your garage, your basement, your pool deck, or any indoor or outdoor area concrete, they did a phenomenal job on my garage floor. And they didn't use epoxy either, all right? That's the old stuff those other guys use. They use polyurea. It's the new premium standard for coatings. And they just got done doing my utility room in my basement as well. My Galaxy Concrete garage floor is out of this world. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com or call them 751-9070. Tell them Big Nige sent you.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
This is Indianapolis. All around town, the checkered flags are out, porch parties abound, and everyone's invited. And this is the Indy 500, where we see what humans can accomplish in concert with twin turbocharged V6 engines and Firestone tires. This is the Brickyard, where they've been racing since before any of us were born. This is Speed City. Welcome to May.
Mecum Auctions returns to the Indiana State Fairgrounds May 9th through 17th for Dana Mecum's 38th Original Spring Classic. Join us for the fun, fast-paced, high-energy Mecum experience. For avid collectors, first-time buyers, and enthusiasts of all ages, there's something for everyone. And with more than 3,000 vehicles up for auction, it's a chance to bring home your dream car. Register to bid and buy tickets now at Mecum.com. That's Mecum.com.
Weekday mornings at 7:15, the Tony Katz Popcorn Moment. Brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Don't wait any longer for the kitchen you've been dreaming of. Request a consultation at BoerRemodeling.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Miss M's Home and Garden, Johnson County Spring Nursery Headquarters.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
Let's rock and roll.
Oh, man, we got somebody paying for this. We got a sponsor here, baby.
Let's go.
Brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. That's just something presented by the Attorney General's office here in Indiana. The Attorney General's office reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. I was just on Indiana Unclaimed the other day. I've got a couple $100 out there. I'm currently signing up for it. Fast, easy, free to search. IndianaUnclaimed.gov.
Is this anything? An 18-wheeler hauling millions of dimes overturned on a highway in Texas, and the dimes went everywhere. Officials had to collect them all using their bare hands, vacuums, rakes. Here are some witnesses talking about the coin spill.
First time we've ever seen that happen.
I just saw a truck flipped over.
But that's a lot of dimes. That many dimes is, well, that's mind-boggling.
I almost came out here with like a bucket so I could fill it up with some dimes.
And that's a lot of dimes.
Beer's on sale, people.
Now to get you some. Yeah, I mean, that's something. It's something for the people that, like, how does it, I swear to God, every time one of these semis turns over, it's something like, 100,000 beer cans or 10 million dimes or a semi-load full of live chickens. And it's impossible to clean it. How do you clean up all those? How do you clean that up?
Bare hands, vacuums, and rakes.
You're telling me guys with bare hands on a Texas interstate are sticking their hand, just grabbing clumps of dimes and putting them back in? And that, I love how that girl was going, I'm gonna go grab some dimes. Just like that $300,000 that was lost in Illinois.
Allison, can I hear the clip of the people discussing
I love that
what was out on the road again one more time?
First time we've ever seen that happen.
I just saw a truck flipped over.
But that's a lot of dimes.
There
That
it
many
is.
dimes is, well.
That's a lot of dimes. So good. Is this anything? Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulrich apologizing for his idiot son trying to prank Shedeur Sanders in the NFL draft. The Falcons got fined. The coach got a hefty fine. Here he is.
My actions of not protecting confidential data were inexcusable. My son's actions were absolutely inexcusable. And for that, we are both deeply sorry. The NFL has taken action, and I fully respect the punishment. Going forward, I promise my son and I will work hard to demonstrate we are better than this. Again, I'm deeply sorry for our actions. Obviously not happy and shocked, so I made the Falcons aware of the situation. Our next course of action was to try to get a hold of the Sanders family so we could apologize, which we were able to do. The Sanders family, Shedeur and Coach Sanders, were amazingly gracious, more gracious than they needed to be in a moment like this.
That prank went viral, but it was kind of a lame react. It was stupid because Shedeur Sanders didn't know what was going on. He was like, what was that about? If you don't know what we're talking about, this guy Jeff Ulbrich works for the Falcons. He's a defensive coordinator. His son, who does these pranks online, he does prank calls or whatever. This isn't the first time he's ever pranked somebody. I don't know if it was this high level, Hammer. But I don't think this is really anything. I'm glad the Atlanta Falcons and the guy that let the number out into the public should be fined. That's probably it. But Jax, his son, spelled Jax, which replaced the X with a G, whatever. Awful name. But they're treating this kid like he's some sort of criminal.
Right.
Which this kind of thing has happened. I swear to God, I read that it happened to the guy that the Colts drafted.
The tight end?
The tight end from Penn State. I swear that I read that somewhere. Don't hold me to that. But come on. Can we be done with this now?
Okay, so on the heels of sport controversies, this just came down, and I retweeted this. Is this anything? This is from NBA reporter Shams Charania. He's like the guy when it comes to breaking NBA news. After conversations with Tyrese Halliburton's father, John Halliburton, and the Indiana Pacers front office, John Halliburton will not attend the team's home or road games for the foreseeable future, according to a Pacers spokesperson.
Not even the home games? That's BS. Is this because he held up the towel in front of Giannis?
Ran on the court.
And then Giannis got in the old man's face, Tyrese Halliburton dad's face. He's holding up the towel with Tyrese's picture on it. This is how saying, and it wasn't like he was using, making offensive gestures or saying F off. It's just kind of like, hey, this is how we do it in the end. And then Giannis gets in his face. I thought the whole thing was BS. I could see maybe keeping him out of Cleveland because he would get harassed in Cleveland.
Right.
Halliburton's dad. Right? I understand that. Maybe keep him out. But home games? Come on, man. Come on, man.
And I'm just over everybody acting like Giannis is this little choir boy.
I know.
Now, I said this yesterday. I'm okay with Halliburton going out there, and I would have been okay if Giannis punched him too. I would have been okay with all of it. You put yourself in that position, then you're swimming with the sharks, right? If I go into the ocean, that's their house. They got a right to bite me.
It wasn't Tyrese. Like Tyrese's dad was swollen up on Giannis. He was holding up a towel in front of him.
You're on the court.
Get punched.
You're on the court. I've been okay with any of it.
Man.
But let's not act like Giannis is this good guy, because he also got into it with Benedict Mathurin. I didn't see Mathurin's dad out there, so why was he getting into it with Ben? Because he's a little whiny crybaby too. They took my basketball for my 50-point game. I better run in the locker room to go get it.
That's it.
He's always been a little crybaby, and the media gives him a pass for it. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just beginning or refining your financial strategy, we're here to support you. Let's grow something lasting together. Text GROW to 888-262-1104 to start planning for your future full of possibility. That's GROW to 888-262-1104. Take the first step today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Tamara and Nigel for Window Nation. May is officially here, and so are the rising temperatures. Beat the heat and keep the AC in your home with Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. During their semi-annual sale, you'll get 60% off and a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows. Plus, no money down, no interest, no monthly payments until 2027.
That's a lot of savings and a super smart investment. So how exactly do they keep prices affordable? Window Nation works directly with the top window manufacturers in this country. Windows assembled right here in the USA. Plus, their windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you'll keep saving long into the future. Window Nation's semi-annual sale. It ends soon, so do not miss your chance to get 60% off and a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows. Plus, you don't pay anything until 2027. Schedule your estimate right now. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A couple of killings to solve. Radar showing some sprinkles in central Indiana, but nothing much. It's still overcast and about 70 on Monument Circle. You have a 70% chance that you could see more rain this afternoon and evening. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. The latest murder in the city was this afternoon about 2 on Rolling Dunes Drive on the city's west side. When police got the call, it was for a car crash, but when they got to the scene, they found a person shot to death. No identifying information provided yet. No arrests announced. Another killing Tuesday.
At this time, we continue to ask that the community come forward with any information they may have.
Indy Metro Police Officer Tommy Thompson, he says the man was found shot and dying just before 12:30 a.m. on Madison Avenue.
And when officers arrived, they did locate an adult male with injuries consistent with gunshot wounds behind a building in that area.
That was behind the Laundry and Tan connection. As you heard, the police are asking for tips. You may have heard that Mike Waltz is out as National Security Advisor, but not all the way out. President Trump nominating him to be the next U.S. ambassador to the UN. Fox's Jared Halpert.
From his time in uniform to Congress and then as National Security Advisor, President Trump says Mike Waltz has worked hard to put the nation's interest first. In a social media post, the president says Waltz will do the same as the next U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Waltz had been serving as National Security Advisor, a role the president says will now be handled by Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Waltz had come under pressure to resign following his admission of accidentally adding a journalist to a Signal group chat in March about airstrikes in Yemen. President Trump initially nominated New York Republican Elise Stefanik for the UN post, but withdrew her nomination because of the slim GOP majority in the House. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
You've got traffic and weather coming up.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable, but a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kiandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at AdventKnows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, looking at the west side, it is a crash big time. Southbound 465 before I-70, closing 3 left lanes, stopping us back to Washington Street, US 40, and that creates a delay of 11 minutes. Now we have a stall in the north split. It's southbound 65 to eastbound 70. Backs us up past MLK, almost to 38th Street, Kessler Boulevard. That's a 14-minute delay. Eastbound 465 on the north side. Stop and go Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69, grinding after 106th Street to 82nd. And eastbound 70, jam Tibbs Avenue into the south split for an 11-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered hit and miss showers and isolated storms continue into tonight with lows in the upper 50s. Partly to mostly cloudy skies expected Friday, but scattered showers and storms possible in the afternoon and nighttime hours with highs in the low to mid 70s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, hello. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. Boo! We're booing Karen Bass?
She's awful. She was so bad during the wildfires out there.
Did she take off to, like, Guatemala?
Took some trip after she knew that, bad stuff was on the horizon. And then when she came back, blamed everybody else for letting her go.
She is, it was Ghana. Sorry. She Guatemala to see the turtles. Seinfeld reference. Sorry. Anyway, she's losing federal funds, Hammer. But it's worth it, she says, to be a sanctuary city because she's protecting all Angelinos.
So the Trump administration comes out and says, look, if you're a sanctuary city and you're not cooperating with ICE, then we're cutting off funding. This is something that's going to happen around the country. And Karen Bass is like, oh, okay, well, Joke's on you. We don't need your funding. Narrator, but they do need the funding.
Hammer, they always need the funding. They always do, or they'll threaten public safety is going to suffer. They'll threaten with the children, just like here.
Right.
Just like here in Indianapolis.
Whether it's a school referendum or property taxes, children will always suffer. Understand that when they try to give you that song and dance. But she's going to be the first one to cry and complain about not having money. All you have to do is cooperate with ICE. And again, it's not like ICE is kicking open the door of a warehouse, looking for somebody that's driving a forklift, putting a bag over their head, throwing them in the van, and then dropping them off into Tijuana. That's not how this is going to work. How many times does Tom Homan got to come out and say, we've got a specific list of people that we're looking for. These are people with criminal backgrounds. These are the folks that we're trying to find. If you don't want to cooperate with that, then you will not receive funding from the government. And certain communities, like here in LA, you've got a mayor that's siding with the folks that are on the wrong side of the law.
I don't think, I mean, look, I think the governor, Gavin Newsom, probably looks at that and says, because he wants to become more of a centrist. He's having all these.
Well, he saw the election.
Right. He's having all these conservative pundits on his podcast. I don't know. I think people should stop going on that thing. Like, I haven't listened to it. We've played clips.
Right.
But why would you give any credence, any credit? That guy's a snake.
But you know what? Trump does the same thing, and we criticize him for that, right? You're going to bring Gretchen Whitmer up to the White House, and you're going to do this little grab-ass session with her up on stage. The minute she left, she ripped Donald Trump in an interview. Like, why does Donald Trump put himself in these positions with people that hate you and then act surprised when they say something negative about you? Don't do interviews with ABC anymore. Don't sit down with CBS. They have called you everything from a rapist. They've said that you were part of a Russian PP tape. They said you were part of Russian collusion. They said that you were part of an insurrection. Why would you sit down with all of these people? The same people that covered up Joe Biden's decline for 4 years, and now they're getting salty when you call them out on it. Don't give them the satisfaction, man.
Oh, I've been corrected, by the way. I'm just all over the place today. I confused Kevin Bacon with Air Up There with Air Bud, and then I made a reference to Seinfeld and the George going to see the turtles in Guatemala. It was the Galapagos Islands.
And really, you were trying to talk about Ghana anyway, so you're 0 for 3 on that one.
That's right. I meant.
You're having an Anthony Richardson day of accuracy over there, Nige.
I was talking about Ghana. I said Guatemala, and I ended up making an inaccurate Seinfeld reference about the turtles.
Right.
Oh, my God.
0 for 3 on one play.
All right, let's move on, please.
That was like that play in Denver where the Colts try to get cute with like the flea flicker.
Yeah.
And it ends up getting picked off and taken back to the house. That was a pick six, Tim Walls.
He called a pick six in that play.
Right. A called play. On the subject of where the Dems are at right now, show favorite, Louisiana Senator John Kennedy went on television and shared his thoughts of his opponents across the aisle, the Democrats.
A charitable interpretation of the behavior of the Democratic Party may exist, but I can't think of one. I think most fair-minded Americans think today's Democratic Party looks like the game room in a mental hospital. It's exquisitely shambolic. The only thing the Democrats contribute to the discussion is just a bunch of rabid barking. Many Democrats still drink their caramel frappuccinos and they carry their NPR tote bags, but their ideas are either non-existent or they're shallow, and their passions are immature.
The NPR tote bags is my favorite. What a super sweeping generalization of Democrats. Yeah, nice NPR tote bag.
With your weird Frappuccino and your NPR tote bag. Great moments in Senator Kennedy history. Cue up the band.
The American people may be poorer under President Biden, but they're not stupid. President Biden's approval rating ranks right up there with jock itch.
Jock itch. Great moments in Louisiana Senator Kennedy history.
And I don't mind disagreements in policy. I think that's great. I love the dialectic. But the comments were personal. You call Senator Sanders everything but an ignorant slut.
Oh, goodness.
Not every day you hear a sitting U.S. senator use the phrase ignorant slut. Nigel, I think this may be your favorite.
Okay.
It's very easy to tell a boy from a girl. A boy has a penis, a girl has a vagina.
I like how his voice starts just kind of, it gets higher as a boy has a penis, girls have a vagina.
Now, this one is my favorite.
If you hate cops just because they're cops, then the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead.
Call a crackhead. Carly Rae Jepsen, help me out.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number. So
Call a crackhead.
Let's give away some tickets, shall we? The IndyCar Sansio Grand Prix, the road course race at the Motor Speedway, May 10th. Okay? Caller number 9, you get to play the game. 239-9393. Crossing our fingers that the phones are working. Caller number 9. 239-9393. We will set you up with the tickets if you win the game. 317-239-9393.
Hammer and Nigel, all for American Standard Heating and Air, and there's the big reason why they're built to a higher standard. Here's Hammer to tell you about one of those awesome local independent dealers in Central Indy.
How about B&W HVAC, plumbing, and electrical? Stay ahead of the breakdowns and costly repairs by becoming a member of their Premier Club. When you're a Premier Club member, you get the VIP service. You get the annual checkups. You get the VIP treatment. And when you got crazy weather like we've got in Indiana, that's a big deal. 1 minute it's windy, 1 minute there's tornadoes, the next minute it's snowing and cold. This is why it's so important to be a Premier Club member. Get that priority scheduling and discounts. Call B&W today, 317-214-0108. That's 214-0108, or visit bplusw.com. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a DSNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A DSNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana DSNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Wondering when to plant grass seed for ideal results? Wondering who has the best lawn products? Well, now is the time, and great lawn starts with Jonathan Green products. Hey, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. And like Sullivan Hardware and Garden, Jonathan Green is a family-owned and operated business. Jonathan Green has only premium quality Black Beauty grass seed, soil foods, and fertilizers to ensure that you achieve noticeably better results on your lawn by making your work easier and delivering an impressive lawn, Jonathan Green Products will turn your lawn into a green space to be enjoyed with family and friends. Black Beauty seed mixtures are sold at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Improve your lawn with Jonathan Green. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Mother's Day is almost here. Sundown Gardens is fully stocked with high-quality annuals, trees, shrubs, decor, and more. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road, sundown.gardens.com.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Tired of digging through noise to find real news? Go straight to WIBC.com. Local stories, statewide impact, national headlines, info that matters. When news breaks, WIBC.com is already on it. Stay on the know while you're on the go.
All right, we're going to give away some tickets here in just a second, but right now, Matt Bear is going to get you home.
All right, Hammer, we're on the west side. This is a mess here on southbound 465 before I-70. We do have a crash. It's in the middle of the interstate. Looks like it has two center lanes blocked right now. Also, the left shoulder covered, and people are kind of flowing around this crash on the left and right here at the moment. The right lane is definitely open. Left lane, not so much, and they're starting to cut off traffic as we observe this from the camera that's showing us right now. So this is southbound 465 before I-70. Several lanes blocked and we're jammed up back to Washington Street, US 40 for a 15-minute delay. Inbound 65, stop and go after 38th Kessler down to Meridian Penn. And then we have a stall in the north split. It's running southbound 65 to eastbound 70. And the ramp is open. It's partially blocked. Eastbound 70, grinding from Tibbs Avenue to the south split, a 14-minute delay. On the east side, eastbound 465, stop and go from Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69, slow roll after 106 down to 82nd. That's a delay of 4 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Partly sunny, 74 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And let's play One at the Track, or Famous for Crack.
And now, time to play One at the Track.
Little Al wins by just a few tenths of a second.
Or Famous for Crack.
And the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead.
One at the Track or Famous for Crack on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Could be a crackhead.
A little callback there, as we call it, to Senator Kennedy. Wally happened to be caller number 9. Wally, my man, how are you?
I'm doing fine, brother.
All right.
Is Wally short for, is that like Walter?
It's James Wallace. This is my last name. I go by Wallace.
Oh, right on.
Very cool. All right. You guys know how we're going to do this here. I'm going to give you 3 names. You got to get 2 out of 3 to win the tickets, okay? I'm going to give you somebody that's either won a race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, whether it's the 500 or the Grand Prix, or somebody that's had a very high-profile fight against crack. You get 2 out of 3. We're giving you the tickets, all right?
Sounds great.
Number 1, One at the Track, or Famous for Crack, Tony Kanaan.
Track.
Track is correct. There we go. All right, get this right. We'll give you the tickets. One at the Track or Famous for Crack, Lawrence Taylor.
Crack.
Yeah, there we go. Congratulations,
There
Wally.
it is.
I think we should hear.
I know my crack.
I think we should hear from LT.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Thank you, LT.
Goes without saying, but okay.
Wally, my man, you got tickets to see the road course race at the Motor Speedway on May 10th. Tickets are on sale now, but you don't have to buy them. You want them. Hang on the line, and Allison will take care of you, okay?
I sure appreciate it, fellas.
You got it. There you go. Wally, my man, congratulations. Dateline, Alabama, Nige. 2-vehicle crash.
The Alabama Slammer?
Something did slam. 2-vehicle crash in Alabama happened yesterday. There were no injuries, but somebody hit a kangaroo in the street. Now,
well, I thought you said there were no injuries. How's the kangaroo?
The kangaroo's okay. It jumped back up. It was okay, but 2 vehicles had to slam on the brakes, and they end up crashing. They hit the kangaroo. The kangaroo's fine. Everybody's fine, but I kind of think we're burying the lead here. How in the hell is there a loose kangaroo in the streets of Alabama? I've been to Alabama, and I've seen a lot of things. I've seen toothless men. I've seen braless women, but I've never seen a kangaroo out of the streets. Not once.
I don't think they're indigenous to Alabama. I'm not sure.
No.
Now, I didn't believe you when you said that you saw monkeys wandering around the side streets in Florida, but I was proven wrong on that.
Now, to be fair, I didn't say they were wandering around. I saw one dead on the side of the road.
Ah, dead monkey.
It had been hit by a car, and from what I gather, they were displaced by a hurricane.
Okay.
And because I did the research.
Let me go back to the kangaroo for a second. Is
Please.
that video real of the dude that's fighting the kangaroo? Because like wasn't a kangaroo screwing around with the guy's dog?
Yes.
Or something. Is that
real,
or is that like the beginnings of AI?
That is real.
The infancy of AI when a guy's fighting the kangaroo. I don't know.
Well, you also didn't know the Kevin Bacon movie, and you also went over 3 on the Seinfeld story. So I think your opinion needs to just take a 20-second time out right now.
You're telling me Kevin Bacon did not star in Air Bud?
I thought you were going to say Kevin Bacon didn't punch a kangaroo. Because you're kind of mixing everything together at this point.
I don't care.
But no, that dude did punch the kangaroo. And that kangaroo's reaction of having his lights turned out when he throws up his hands, that's one of my favorite things.
Okay.
Because that big kangaroo looked like RFK, kind of swole up on this dude. And this crazy Aussie dude just pops him. And it takes this kangaroo aback, throws his hands back.
Oh, I'm watching it. He had the dog in the headlock, and then they square off, and
turns his lights out, baby.
The kangaroo just stands there and looks at him.
But he was stunned.
I can't believe you just hit me.
Popped him right in the mouth.
You're right. Okay.
Sometimes you got to punch a kangaroo.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower. Future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just beginning or refining your financial strategy, we're here to support you. Let's grow something lasting together. Text GROW to 888-262-1104 to start planning for your future full of possibility. That's GROW to 888-262-1104. Take the first step today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
The WIBC mashup is everything you love, from fiery debates to laugh-out-loud takes, all in one podcast. No weak sauce, just the best of the day each weekday. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
A day of change at the White House. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. This as National Security Advisor Mike Waltz becomes the new nominee to be President Trump's U.S. ambassador to the UN. Waltz had faced pressure to resign after his office inadvertently added a journalist to a group chat about military plans on the Signal app.
If the president's issue with Waltz was this now infamous Signal group chat that had the editor from The Atlantic on it, that's really not reflected in the president's post on this. He said that from his time in uniform and on the battlefield and in Congress as my national security advisor, Mike Waltz has worked hard to put our nation's interests first. I know he will do the same in his new role. The national security advisor, until there is a permanent one, is going to be another familiar face, Marco Rubio.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. Rubio, the Secretary of State, is already wearing several hats, also including acting administrator of USAID. Mike Waltz posting that he's deeply honored to continue serving President Trump and our great nation. He'll need Senate confirmation to be UN ambassador. The Trump administration is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to strip temporary legal protections from more than 300,000 Venezuelans, potentially exposing them to deportation. A federal judge kept in place protections that would have expired last month. Democrats proposing House and Senate bills aiming to force the State Department to report steps taken to comply with court orders on people wrongly deported and to issue a human rights report about El Salvador, where the administration mass deported accused gang members.
This is a threat to everybody. We're going to do it. Donald Trump doesn't believe in checks and balances. We do. The American people do. We're going to fight this all the way.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, a federal judge in Texas, meantime, blocking some deportations of Venezuelans in South Texas, ruling the president went beyond the scope of the Alien Enemies Act. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm still 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The call was originally about a car wreck. Those scattered showers and storms becoming a lot more numerous, and radar showing the likelihood that you will see some rain sometime this evening. It's 71 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02. A killing this afternoon. John Herrick on what police found on the west side.
IMPD says it happened on Rolling Dunes Drive just after 2 o'clock. That's in the Waterfront Point Apartments off Crawfordsville Road, just west of the I-465 and I-74 split. It's also where they found a man shot in a car. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police are trying to find suspects and a motive for the shooting. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Another murder this morning just after 12:30, and Indy Metro Police would like to know who they're looking for.
At this time, we continue to ask that the community come forward with any information they may have. They can reach out to the IMPD Homicide Office.
Officer Tommy Thompson, he says the killing happened along Madison Avenue. A man was found shot and dying behind a laundromat. Ticket sales for the Indy 500 are up from last year, and Indianapolis Motor Speedway Senior Marketing Director Michael Kelton-Mark says that may lead to a sellout of the grandstand.
Pretty exciting stuff. We're trending 4% ahead of last year at this time, really about a week ahead in sales. So we feel like a sellout of the grandstands is imminent, but we'll wait and see.
He tells Wish TV that sales for the Grand Prix are up 12% over where they were this time last year. It's mushroom hunting season, but do you know what you're looking for? Terry Stacy can help you out.
Jenny Lee, naturalist at Hayes Arboretum in Richmond, invites you to their spring mushroom program this weekend.
We are bringing in Dr. Don Ruck, and he's led these programs for almost 2 decades now. Then him and myself will lead a hike. We don't allow for collections of mushrooms, but during this special program, we'll tell you what's edible, and we'll kind of pick it up, look at it closer so you can learn how to identify it.
10 to noon on Saturday, $5 for adults. 12 and under are free. HayesArb.org for more. Terry Stacy, WIBC Mobile News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Here's why the Hammer and Nigel Show trusts Window Nation. I'm talking an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. Installers who specialize in windows, many with over 15 years experience.
Window Nation, they've got the best deals and the best products. Their windows are energy efficient. The nasty weather stays outside. Your perfect climate stays inside. And Window Nation offers a lifetime warranty on all of their windows, so you can save long into the future. And right now, get 60% off a house full of windows. For 2 years, you won't have to pay anything. No down payment, no interest, no monthly payments. You pay nothing until 2027. And when you get a house full of windows, you'll also get a free entry door. 866-90-NATION. Call, talk to one of their representatives, ask about all the deals. 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, west side, Warren Business crash clear. Southbound 465 before I-70. We have a jailbreak going on. Traffic is cleared out. Not the case on eastbound 70. That's still loaded up. Full house running from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split. 11-minute delay. Inbound 65, stop and go traffic because of an earlier stall. This is from the White River down to the North Split. 21-minute delay to make it through that. And inbound 69, stop and go after 106th Street down to 82nd. Eastbound 465 jammed up from Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push to talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered hit and miss showers and isolated storms continue into tonight with lows in the upper 50s. Partly to mostly cloudy skies expected Friday, but scattered showers and storms possible in the afternoon and nighttime hours with highs in the low to mid 70s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. You're going to have to take me through this Indiana basketball team physician, this lawsuit, and everything surrounding this, Hammer. This is interesting. and kind of cringeworthy, and I don't know what to make of it. And maybe you could help me out here.
So let's start from the beginning here. There are some IU basketball players from years past, led by Haris Mujezenovic, that claim that the trainer, the IU basketball trainer, did some inappropriate things during their time as students on the basketball team. It's Haris Mujezenovic, Charlie Miller, among others. And they're going after the IU trainer, Dr. Bamba. So this has been an ongoing scandal for a while. So what Indiana University did, it's kind of like the same thing you would see here in Indy with like the sexual harassment scandal in the mayor's office. Each side hires an independent law firm to review the acts, and then they gather intel before this thing actually goes to trial, or if it does go to trial. So a law firm has found that the IU basketball team physician, Brad Bamba, did not act in bad faith or with improper purpose during his time as the trainer, as the doctor at Indiana University. Now, these players were saying he did sexually inappropriate things to us against our will.
Good Lord.
But this law firm, the independent investigation, claims that did not happen.
Not that this matters, but these were guys that were playing back
the Knight era.
Like the Bobby Knight era.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
So what were they saying this team physician was doing?
If I say Moon River, does that give you an idea?
No.
Like basically
what?
Taking advantage of these players when they were in vulnerable positions.
Like a prostate exam? Is that what you're saying? Like
anal exams when they did not require to be, looked at. That's what these players are accusing, among other things. The independent law firm that the university hired says that by all accounts, everything seems to be on the up and up here. Now, the other side, the player side, they've got a law firm representing themselves, Delaney & Delaney. And they say that the class action lawsuit against Indiana University basically states that this doctor, Dr. Bamba Sr., was, quote, now this is the language in the document,
I'm
okay?
looking at it right. I can't believe you're going to say this out loud.
Dr. Bamba was penetrating these young athletes' rectums, and IU refused to stop it. That's the language from the other side, the Delaney & Delaney group representing the players filing this lawsuit.
Do not have that on the old bingo card.
Nope. But this is, again, to make a comparison here to Indianapolis, this is the same thing we're seeing with the mayor's office. The accusers have their side that say, yeah, Hogsett knew what was going on. Thomas Carl Cook was a creeper. We've got all that. But Hogsett, his side, which may or may not be somebody that he's promoted in the past, and they may or may not be donators to his political campaigns in the past, say, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. All is well, like Kevin Bacon, who's been a hot topic today. All is well.
So they're alleging that this trainer during the Bob Knight era was conducting improper and unnecessary prostate exams?
Correct. The school had hired Jones Day, a prominent international law firm with experience in sexual and sensitive investigations. And again, this is serious stuff here, and I'm going to read it word for word. Jones Day found no evidence to suggest Dr. Bamba obtained any, quote, sexual gratification in performing any tests on athletes.
Oh, well, what a relief. But were they necessary? I would have no clue that team physicians were performing prostate exams on players back in those days, because now it's a blood test. I've had my prostate checked, but not with a finger. It's a blood test.
No, that's not what Matt Baer said. Matt Baer said he used the whole fist. Oh, come on, Allison. All the things we say in here, and that's the breaking point for you. That's where you draw the line.
Thank God the PSA, they call it a PSA test. And I'm not going to mess this one up. The prostate-specific antigen. they look for in your blood. So they don't have to do the swipe anymore. The doctor doesn't have to say, all right, like in the movie Fletch.
Moon River.
Use your whole fist, Doc. Never serves time.
So that's the latest.
That is a strange one. That is so they said nothing to see here, or
the university's law firm said the doctor didn't do anything wrong. Now I do believe the players are still looking to move forward with this class action lawsuit.
Yeah, look, if there was, I hope they get their comeuppance. The doctor does if he was found to do something wrong.
If he did.
If he did. But that is strange. Now, I was not expecting that on the bingo card for sure.
Last night on CNN, they had Democrat Rep. Jayapal on. Now, she is one of the super left, super progressive members of the House of Representatives. I wouldn't quite say she's AOC or Ayanna Pressley level, but she's pretty close.
Equally as radical, if not more.
And she's older. Like, she's older than those two that we'd mentioned before. So she's on camera, on CNN, mind you. Not Fox, not Newsmax. This is on CNN. She starts talking about how Donald Trump's calling for Medicaid cuts in the big, beautiful bill. And to his credit, and I'm not even sure who this news anchor is on CNN, he fact-checks her in real time.
So, no, I don't think that you can start to try to have a compromise on a bill that destroys the economy for the American people, that cuts Social Security and Medicare, which Elon Musk called the great big ones that we have to eliminate. So I think you can expect a wholesale opposition to cutting Medicaid, Social Security, Medicare, the Department of Education, everything that they are doing.
Just to be precise, Congresswoman, I believe that in that soundbite, Elon Musk was talking about fraud in those entitlement programs being the big ones that they have to tackle.
No, that's not.
That's what he said in that soundbite. We can go back and find it, and we'll exchange emails, and you'll see that what he was talking about specifically in that soundbite that I believe you're referring to is fraud. And President Trump has said that he will not sign anything that cuts Medicaid, though it is true that the committee that oversees Medicaid has outlined $880 billion in cuts. How they make that math work is a question for Republicans.
When was the last time you think old Rep. Jayapal got owned like that on CNN?
Fact-checked right there on live TV.
By a weekend
dude. Representative out of Washington. Yeah, by the weekend.
You think Jake Tapper would have pushed back like that? That butt sniffer? You think he would have done that? Absolutely not. I don't know who this dude was, but good for him. Miss Allison, before we hit a traffic break here, it's been a little bit since we've had one.
What's that?
A lewd, nude dude in the news.
Here's another lewd, nude dude in the news.
Dateline, Florida. 63-year-old naked man in Florida was caught trying to break into a woman's house. Police are calling him the birthday suit bandit. Here is Matthew Hunter dealing with the police, recorded on their body cam footage while he's buck naked.
What's going on, bro?
I just came over to talk to you.
You're walking around the street naked.
Quote, you're walking around the street naked.
Why was it necessary to saddle him with a nickname like the police?
The birthday suit bandit? Maybe there had been a couple different things that have happened. Like in Home Alone, the wet bandits. They knew who they were when every crime had a sink running. Maybe every house that, reported a naked man fleeing the scene, they just couldn't find the dude. Now they've got the birthday suit bandit.
I got to say, I would have to assume that, naked guy trying to break into somebody's house is probably the safest of the runs that the police have to make because, there's no weapons on them.
Unless it's in his anus.
This has been another lewd.
There's been a lot of anus talk.
Dude, in the news.
In this segment, we might just want to just lose this altogether.
Two anus conversations in the same segment. We haven't pulled that off since Mike Pence used to sit in this chair.
We're not even counting my colonoscopy from a couple days ago.
Right. Got a full bingo card going. Matt Bear, how are the roads looking? Anus.
Nigel, how's your anus right now?
God.
Look at it inbound 65 stop and go traffic.
Anus.
Yeah, I mean, I better stop. Inbound 65 stop and go traffic. White River Bridge to the North Split, a 22-minute delay. Also, eastbound 75-minute delay from Belmont into the South Split. Inbound 69 stop and go traffic from 106th Street to 82nd. On the southwest side, southbound 465 slow after Sam Jones over to Kentucky Avenue and again around I-69. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Producer Allison, in your most serious voice, I want you to say the word anus.
No.
Come on, Allison.
Like I want it dramatic.
Right.
I want it.
Okay.
Turn the music off.
No, keep it on.
Oh, you think so?
Anus.
Yeah! Woo! Woo!
I love my
74.
job. I love my job.
74, the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Come on back. Nobody's having more fun than we are at the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hell no.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just beginning or refining your financial strategy, we're here to support you. Let's grow something lasting together. Text GROW to 888-262-1104 to start planning for your future full of possibility. That's GROW to 888-262-1104. Take the first step today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Employee pricing. That's right. At Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, you can get employee pricing across a full lineup of your favorite trucks and SUVs. Their entire American inventory has been marked with employee pricing, so you pay what they pay on F-150s, on Super Duties, Explorers, all of them with employee pricing. And if you need something a little smaller but still want to be able to haul the crew and cargo around, the Edge is the perfect choice for you. And you'll definitely enjoy the excellent fuel economy. Plus, it's loaded with safety features. Get more to your door with Andy Moore Ford. Simply purchase your vehicle online and they'll deliver it to you. And if you need to sell or trade your current vehicle, the time has never been better. Andy Moore Ford will pay top dollar for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from them. Employee pricing on all your favorite Fords are at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at Andy Moore Ford, MOHR. AndyMooreFord.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Denny Smith here for Miss M's Home and Garden in Bargersville and Sundown Gardens in Westfield. May has arrived and Mother's Day is approaching. Spring flowers are on full display. You just have to see the selection. Miss M's Home and Garden and Sundown Gardens are fully stocked with great annuals, trees, shrubs, decor, and more. Get an early jump on Mother's Day. Sundown Gardens at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, sundown.gardens.com. Miss M's Home and Garden on State Road 135 in Bargersville, missmshomeandgarden.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
Plumbing problems stink. The LD Smith crew can handle anything. Call today for $50 off any plumbing repair, big or small.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Sundown Gardens, Hamilton County Spring Nursery Headquarters.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Off the Rails with Rob Kendall coming up. Tons of great radio this week from the Kendall and Casey show involving the governor, the lieutenant governor.
Did he break up with Micah? Are they not dating anymore?
We'll find out. I want to ask him that.
Okay.
I kind of feel bad. I don't like to see people that I both like at odds, butting heads, but it's sort of an interesting situation. We'll get down to all of it a little bit after 5:30. TMZ, Hammer, reporting that Bill Belichick, former Super Bowl winning coach for the New England Patriots, his disastrous CBS interview was even worse than what aired. Might have to fill people in on this to reset this. They had to cut 30 minutes from it, and Jordan Hudson, his girlfriend, stormed out in the middle of it and expected Bill to follow her. Now, Bill Belichick is also ripping CBS, saying they selectively edited things. Are you okay with this?
Yes, begrudgingly. Now, before I get into why, let me backtrack a little bit. For those who don't know, Bill Belichick is in his 70s, I believe. He's up there. Now, his girlfriend is in her 20s, and she has been a mouthy little mouthpiece in this relationship, which is odd because for so long, Belichick was that dude. He was the guy that would be bored with the media, walk out of the media, Johnny Surly. That's who Belichick was. Now, here comes this little 24-year-old sweet thing, and she's bossing him around. She's taking his Super Bowl jerseys, cutting them off, making them midriffs. And Belichick goes on CBS News, and he's got some new book out about winning and coaching football, strategies at life, blah, blah, blah. But the reporter on CBS asks him about his relationship with this very young girlfriend. And it was a simple question. Tell me how you guys met. She flips out. No, we're not answering that. Like, she yells out from across the room.
Yeah.
She's answering for Bill.
She wasn't involved in the interview. She wasn't on camera. It was just the guy interviewing Bill Belichick and Bill.
Right. So he's got to hear these, yells coming from the peanut gallery over here, and they move on. So this is why I'm okay with this. Guys, this is just me talking to you. Ladies, feel free to turn the radio down, but please turn it back up. Raise your hand if you've ever been with a crazy woman who drives you nuts, but the loving is so good you're willing to do a bunch of crap you don't want to do. My hand's up. Nigel's hands up.
Loving.
I may be in that relationship right now. I don't know.
Still in that relationship right now.
Still in that relationship. Crazy broads, but the loving is so good, you're willing to become a different person sometimes. And that's where Bill Belichick's at right now.
Here's the question you have to ask. And somebody sent me a clip of, I think it was Megyn Kelly asking this question. What if the roles were reversed? Is this elder abuse? If this was a 72-year-old woman being interviewed and she was dating a 24-year-old man sitting in the background. No, don't answer that question. Don't answer that question. Is that some sort of elder abuse? I mean, just think if the roles were reversed.
Right.
That's all I'm asking here.
I don't know if it's
Megyn
elder
Kelly it was a good question.
Abuse per se, but why wouldn't you answer that question? It's not like they asked what your favorite position was. They asked, how did you guys meet? How did you meet? Everybody likes to tell that story. People tell those stories at weddings. They say it to family members. She melts down. Why is that such a deal breaker? Was she a call girl or something? Is this a Pretty Woman type story? I have no idea. But the things we do as dudes for the poon, man, it will change who you are sometimes. Bill Belichick is living proof.
Do we want to get to the Cubs-Pirates thing?
Let's do that.
Yeah, okay. Yesterday's game between the Cubs and the Pirates in Pittsburgh, the fan falling from the outfield stands during a play, he appeared to get up and then his body flailed over the railing, like flipping over. His body flipped, hit the warning track. Here's what the Pirates GM said about that incident after the game.
Thank both our medical staff, the Cubs medical staff, EMS, everybody that got to the gentleman. Even though it's 350 feet of wire, whatever it is, I mean, the fact of how it went down and laying motionless, while the play's going on. I mean, Craig saw it, I saw it, we both got out there. I think the umpire saw it. Unfortunately, because of the way the ball kicked, it's extremely unfortunate. I mean, that's an understatement.
I mean, are you okay? Like, I don't know what that footage of him looks like. He got ejected out of that seat.
He got shot up there. And I was watching this game, and I texted you guys as soon as it happened.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, something happened here. And I started going on Twitter, and I found the video. Not okay with this. I mean, that wall that the dude was sitting behind was like 21 feet high. It was the Clemente wall that we've talked about before. And then he was a couple rows sitting above that. Now, eyewitnesses are telling like media affiliates in Pittsburgh, this dude was hammered drunk, was sloppy drunk by the 5th inning. The incident happened in the bottom of the 7th, but by the 5th inning, eyewitnesses are saying he was so drunk, he had a shirt off, he was spilling beers all over himself, and the play that he fell, the Pirates were scoring the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 7th, and he jumps up to celebrate, but he's so inebriated, he just leans over, tumbles feet overhead multiple times, lands on his neck on the dirt on the warning track. Man. Last time I heard, he was in critical condition. They stopped the game. All the players like took a knee and they're looking around. It looked like somebody had died. They brought the stretcher out. I hope the guy's all right, but man, if you're at a ball game and somebody that you're with is getting that drunk, step in, protect them from themselves, because it sounds like that was the case here. But it was pretty scary. You can find the video if you search on Twitter enough. It's pretty wild. Speaking of wild.
Oh, boy.
I'm looking out in the hallway right now. Why is Rob Kendall shadow boxing? I don't know why he's doing that, but he's fired up. He's ready to go off the rails. That's coming up right after we have a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
They're now looking for 2 killers. The majority of the rain in Indiana right now is in the southeast part of the state, but there is more building in from the west and the northwest. You have a 70% chance to see that this afternoon. Right now, it's 70 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. A murder on Rolling Dunes Drive on the west side about 2 this afternoon. Indy Metro Police say they found a man dead in a car. In fact, the call was originally about a wreck. No ID yet and no arrests announced. Ryan Hedrick reports on a murder on the south side from just after midnight and the impact that leaves behind.
Indianapolis police officer Tommy Thompson says violence in any form leaves a lasting impact.
And sometimes bringing that justice really brings something positive for families.
Thompson says many people are now affected by a Thursday shooting that left a man dead. That shooting happened along Madison Avenue on the south side of the city behind a laundromat.
And that's why we ask for the surveillance footage. If you have some type of camera system on your home, if you can come forward with that information.
Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A soldier arrested, accused of distributing cocaine during that Colorado nightclub raid that you might have heard about. Fox's Kristen Goodwin.
Army Staff Sergeant Juan Gabriel Arona Rodriguez charged with 1 count each of distribution and possession with intent to distribute cocaine, along with conspiracy to distribute. Federal prosecutors allege the 28-year-old sold cocaine to an undercover Drug Enforcement Administration agent, noting a search of his phone later revealed months of suspected cocaine trafficking. According to a complaint, Arona Rodriguez was one of 17 active duty service members present during a federal raid of an after-hours unlawful nightclub in Colorado Springs over the weekend. Officials also say he appears to hold a leadership role in a business called Immortal Security LLC, which provides security at nightclubs and is believed to be involved in drug distribution. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, inbound 65, a 12-minute delay from the White River Bridge to the north split. Eastbound 70, stop and go Belmont into the south split. And on the south side, eastbound 465, hitting the brakes around I-70, then we let go at Man Road. Stop and go again around I-69 over 231. On the northeast side, eastbound 465, loaded up from Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. And inbound 69, slow roll from 96th Street down to 465. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Van Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered hit and miss showers and isolated storms continue into tonight with lows in the upper 50s. Partly to mostly cloudy skies expected Friday, but scattered showers and storms possible in the afternoon and nighttime hours with highs in the low to mid 70s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Rob Kendall.
Noise pollution.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Also joining us live in studio, Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show. Rob, how are you?
Great. Thanks, as always, to the segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
And that segment is called Off the Rails. Going off the rails, I noticed yesterday, the Kendall and Casey Show and Rob Kendall himself were featured prominently on several different pages of IndyStar.com. Like on the front page, they were talking about how Mike Braun's kind of upset at Micah Beckwith, his lieutenant governor, for what he said about the three-fifths compromise. And there you are kind of like cheering for Mike Braun. And then
that was at the property tax rally,
That
right?
was at the property. And you were sitting right, and you were right next to it with the alcohol T-shirt on.
There's a picture of me on the cover of the paper of record in Indianapolis wearing a Hammer and Nigel shirt that says, "Caution, may contain alcohol."
And then the Kendall and Casey show is mentioned in an article or two yesterday. I do want to get to Trump's first 100 days, but first let's start locally here. Mike Braun's first 100 days. Your initial analysis. What do you think?
Well, that thing yesterday was like, remember how when Stalin was in charge, they'd have everybody...
I don't remember that, actually. No, Rob.
How about Saddam Hussein? You remember that?
Yes.
Any, like the Politburo, where they'd have these things, and the person who stopped clapping first got the gulag. I mean, that's what yesterday was about. It wasn't something where the public could come. It was his cabinet.
Now, what are you talking about? What was yesterday?
He had some big thing where people were basically celebrating his first 100 days and all the great things that he supposedly did, and all the people there were the cabinet level people or statewide office holders or the lawmakers. And it's like, well, look at how happy everyone is. Yeah, they'd lose their jobs if they weren't there. And I just think it's insulting to people. And if you look at the comments yesterday on Twitter after he makes the post about, our great 100 days and we're doing this and we're doing that, it was harsher than what Holcomb got during COVID. I mean, people hate this guy, and rightfully so. He lied to everybody and let everybody down, and now he's just rubbing it in everybody's face.
All right, so before we get into the little situation between the governor and the lieutenant governor and how somehow you're involved now, Rob, I'm going to throw out a couple different things that I think Hoosiers care about. Based off just 100 days, which isn't a long time, right? But for 100 days, tell me where we're at here. Property taxes.
Well, it's a colossal failure. The legislature's admitted it based on the fact that what's left of the thing, the signature thing, has now been delayed, which is the business personal property tax exemption. And the way Chris Jeter was talking, state rep in the Indiana Capitol Chronicle, it may never get implemented.
Jobs, the economy.
I don't think the governor has much to do with jobs or the economy. I think that's largely a national trend. I mean, Indiana's employment naturally is kind of low, so I think it's just the status quo.
So I bring that up because I was told that this $2 billion shortfall in the state budget is because there's not enough jobs.
Well, this is what's interesting because you think about under Holcomb, there were always these ribbon cuttings, right? Like these big, oftentimes foreign corporations building these bright, shiny objects. Where's all the money going? Because at the end of the day, when it came down to the budget to pay the bills, they had to resort to a massive tax increase of almost $1 billion. So when do these megacorps start paying off?
And one more here. Education and school board races, whether or not they can be partisan.
Well, it's fine. They got the watered down version, which is better than nothing, in which people will have to put a letter or they can choose to be independent next to their name when they run for school
They
board.
did get that?
They got only in the general election. They did not get an actual primary.
Okay.
That's better than nothing. But I mean, is that where we're at? Where that's the highlight of the legislative session is now there can be 3 Republicans running for the same school board seat? I mean, is that what we're going to hang our hat on? I mean, the core thing that he had to do was balance a budget without raising taxes, which he failed on, and the property tax thing, which he failed on. The 2 signature issues that were in front of him, which he made issues, by the way. Nobody held a gun to his head and made him do it. Braun failed. Now, here's what we've done. I don't know if you guys heard the show today. Because yesterday kind of felt like elder abuse because Braun's there. He's looking very old. He's looking very feeble. He looks very worn down. Kind of feels like it's elder abuse at this point. We're not going to stand for that on the Kendall and Casey show.
Like Bill Belichick situation.
Right.
Sure.
Yes.
But just getting worn out.
Yeah. So here's what we said. Look, laws don't become law in the state of Indiana until July 1st. So today's May 1st. It's going to be
May.
So we got 2 months, right? What we said on the Kendall and Casey show today is if the governor by Monday at 5 o'clock is willing to come out and go, look, this is obviously this property tax thing, a complete dumpster fire. The Indy Star did a big thing yesterday on how the mayors said everything, but it's going to raise local income taxes, which it will. Everybody knows it. If the governor comes out Monday by 5 o'clock and says, I wanted this to work, I tried to make this work. Heck, he spent $1 gajillion trying to convince you it's working, but it's not. People are outraged. I'm calling for a special session to repeal this bill, and let's craft something else. We're calling a truce. It's like Ukraine and the Russians, right? We're calling a ceasefire, and if the governor will come out and do that by 5 o'clock on Monday, all will be forgiven, and we'll start over.
Okay, so as the co-host of a sports betting program, what are the odds that happens, Rob?
Well, none. 0. No, he's not going to do it.
What's more likely to happen? The Colts win the Super Bowl and Anthony Richardson has an MVP-like year, or Governor Braun decides this bill sucks and we're calling a special session?
The Colts winning the Super Bowl.
Go Colts.
Right?
Go Colts.
We believe in Anthony Richardson.
This is the problem, though. Braun has got very bad advice. He's listened to all the wrong people. If he'd have just stayed with us, he would have been able to avoid all of it.
I was going to say, what if Braun says I was listening to Rob Kendall?
Yeah, well, he certainly wasn't listening to Rob Kendall. I can assure you of that. Because the last thing I told him in our meeting was, do not sign this bill. This is going to be a dumpster fire. People are going to hate it. Everything I told him was going to happen has happened.
Going off the rails with Rob Kendall here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Fascinating radio this week on the Kendall and Casey show. There was a couple of times I couldn't get out of the car. A great interview with former Attorney General Curtis Hill today. You talked to him about some of the comments Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith said. We get to that. But really, you and Micah on the air together, the Lieutenant Governor going at it back and forth was some incredible radio. And I know look, that's kind of the point of what we do here. Like, where was I? What time was he on this week? It was like 9:30. Oh, I was at the liquor store. So I did not get out. Seriously, I was. Tell me what's it like between you and the Lieutenant Governor now? Because that was a contentious conversation, and it seems like it's personal now a little bit, and it was the 3/5 compromise comments that he made and all that stuff.
Well, look, I told Micah when he got elected, and I said it when he was running, but I reminded him when he got elected, our relationship changes now. We'll always be friends, or I will always consider us friends. But you're an elected person now. You have power over people. And I've been in a relationship with my audience for almost 25 years. I've known you for 4. My job is to hold you accountable. And he was like, oh, that's great. He said it on air. I'm excited for that. Hold me accountable. I don't think he quite understood what that entailed.
We don't just say you go off the rails because it sounds fun to say.
This is the passion of my life, and I've been able to meld the two things that I love most in terms of my professional nature, which is radio and government, and put them into one job. And Micah has not held up his end of the bargain on a variety of issues. And the way he's behaved about this, where he was fighting with James Briggs and Caitlin Lang last night from Indy Star. And it's like, dude, you are the lieutenant governor. You're the second most powerful person in the state. Act like it. Put some professionalism behind this.
You don't think some people will be like, that's right, stick it to the Indy Star?
What does that prove? I elected you to govern, not to fight with James Briggs. And Micah has failed. Braun has failed in terms of governing. The response to the property tax thing was a disaster. He said nothing about the budget and the tax increases with that. Boy, he sure sprinted on that 3/5 compromise, which happened after the bill had already been passed. There was no gain from a governing perspective. He already got the thing passed. He did it because he comes off as a guy who's more interested right now in being famous on the internet, on right Twitter. And I'm going to be critical about Jim Banks for doing it, which I have been. Then how do I not look at Micah Beckwith and say you're doing the exact same thing? You're not interested in accomplishing stuff. You're not interested in governing. You're interested in seeing yourself and being in fights with people on social media.
You think he'll call your show next week? Like you have a standing weekly interview with the Lieutenant Governor. Do you think he'll...
As long as he's willing to take it, I'm willing to give it.
So far, I will say this. The governor and the lieutenant governor, they have came on our respective programs, and they've taken tough questions.
Right, and they don't run, and they deserve full credit for that. And look, Mike is a phenomenal preacher. He's brought many, many people to the Lord. He deserves immense credit. He's a great orator. But your job now as the lieutenant governor is to govern, and he has not done a very good job. The fact that he doesn't recognize why the car is a big deal, or he won't admit why the car is a big deal.
The cost of the car.
He can say whatever he wants about, $87,000 in the course of a $46 billion budget. You're right. It's very small. But what it cost you was the moral high ground when you go to somebody else and go, that's wasteful spending, you got to cut that out. Because what are they going to do? They're going to look at him and go, tell us about your car. He is too smart not to recognize that, and the fact that he's still fighting people about this like some petulant little child is ridiculous.
Come back for one more segment.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're going off the rails with Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Come on, Indy. Don't use the spring to paint your house year after year. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And now get the protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Mother's Day is almost here. Miss M's Home and Garden is fully stocked with high-quality annuals, trees, shrubs, decor, and more. State Road 135 in Bargersville.
The WIBC mashup is everything you love, from fiery debates to laugh-out-loud takes, all in one podcast. No weak sauce, just the best of the day each weekday. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, taking a tip there. Inbound 65 stop-and-go traffic from the White River Bridge down to the North Split. That is a 14-minute delay. Eastbound S70 stop-and-go traffic after Tibbs Avenue over to West Street. And then we look at eastbound 70 out of the North Split, slow around Rural. South side, we have a stall. This is on I-465 running westbound right now at Emerson Avenue, and right now we have the right lane blocked. Also on the south side, eastbound 465, stop and go from 70 over to I-69. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Man Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
73 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back with Rob Kendall, host of the #1 rated Kendall and Casey show, 9 to noon here at 93 WIBC. So, Rob, let's pivot from Governor Braun's first 100 days to Donald Trump's first 100 days. He's been doing a victory lap tour. He's going to Michigan. He's doing interviews. It's been like classic Trump the last 48 hours. What do you think?
Well, he's done a very nice job on the border, especially given the judges and the obstruction that he has seen from them. I think he's accomplished about as much there as you could possibly have expected. So I would give him an A on the border. I think he's done phenomenal. Everything else, not so great. And I think he's done a horrible job of explaining what these tariffs are about. He's done a horrible job of explaining what the end game is. He's done a horrible job of allowing...
When you say explaining, let me jump in here real quick. When you say explaining, do you mean the whole concept of tariffs or letting people know and understand why he's doing this and they've got to play the long game?
All of the above. So the tariff started as, hey, Canada and Mexico are not helping us with the border, and fentanyl is seeping into this country and killing young people. I think all of us go, that's a worthy cause to fight. And whatever Canada and Mexico, you got to have them do to stop this so young kids aren't dying of fentanyl, we're on board with that. But then it quickly changed out of that, right? It became something else. And then China's involved. Okay, cool. We know China's a bad actor. But now, what are there? Hundreds of countries involved in this now. What is this all about? And you can't just say it's the idea of bringing buying power back to America or manufacturing back to America. You got to spell out that what that is so people know when you're done and they know what we're working towards and they know what the end game is. A bunch of these things that he's talking about, you couldn't build them in America for the next 4 to 6 years if you started today because of the technology.
Yeah, you're not going to start an actual Apple iPhone manufacturing center in the United States. You couldn't find enough people to do it.
No, and so he has done a horrible job of explaining this, and I don't even know if he knows. I think sometimes he just changes his, which is fine when you run a business. It's your business. He was great at that, right? But when you're dealing with
trillions of dollars in this economy and people's livelihoods and the free flow of commerce. And I mean, this is not running your own business. This is millions and millions of people's lives on the line. And I just don't think he's done a very good job of articulating how this is all going to play out.
We have a new sports betting podcast that is live, that is out right now.
Yeah.
Nude Degenerates Next Door. We've got our Kentucky Derby expert.
Yeah.
We're talking NBA playoffs. We've got NFL futures. And Rob, you and I were talking earlier on your show about this guy that fell out of the stands at the Pittsburgh Pirates Chicago Cubs game. Sounds like, according to witnesses, he was overserved, very intoxicated, fell over. Last time I checked, he's in critical condition. What's coming up on the show?
Boy, I'll tell you what, McDonald's is in trouble, it looks like. And if McDonald's is in trouble, that's bad news for everybody else.
Jeff Boggs just had a stroke. Special thanks to
Garage Stores of Indianapolis. You guys are the best.
He's off the rails. That's Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Wondering when to plant grass seed for ideal results? Wondering who has the best lawn products? Well, now is the time, and great lawn starts with Jonathan Green products. Hey, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. And like Sullivan Hardware and Garden, Jonathan Green is a family-owned and operated business. Jonathan Green has only premium quality Black Beauty grass seed, soil foods, and fertilizers to ensure that you achieve noticeably better results on your lawn. By making your work easier and delivering an impressive lawn, Jonathan Green products will turn your lawn into a green space to be enjoyed with family and friends. Black Beauty seed mixtures are sold at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Improve your lawn with Jonathan Green. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
Nobody cares for you like